Hello again, everybody. Welcome to my channel. I am doing another DIY with alcohol ink. There is a giveaway this month. Please go check it out. Every month I have a different kind of giveaway. This month is an alcohol ink, alcohol marker themed giveaway. So definitely check that out. All the videos that you need to watch are in the playlist, and I will give you more info on how to enter and everything later on in this video. But today, we are going to be doing something that I have been asked a lot about, and I haven't seen anything online with people that have done this. Maybe I've just missed it because I would have thought that a lot of people had tried this. So we're going to be doing metallic alcohol inks, or the mixatives, DIY mixatives. So with Ranger or Tim Holtz, they have gold, they have silver, they have pearl, and I think there's like a snow cap one. Yep, snow cap, and then I think they have a copper. Then Pinata has a gold one, which is this one, rich gold. So this isn't called a mixative, it's just called metallic alcohol ink, but it works pretty much the same as these mixatives. So I'm not sure why they call these mixatives. If anyone does know why they're called mixatives as opposed to like this kind of thing, let me know. Anyway, so I've been fooling around with different recipes to kind of get this figured out. So what I've come up with, I will let you know the different results I had. You can see I have a bunch of swatches here. But what you're going to need before we get started is you're going to need some paper to test out your samples on. I use the Kirkland photo paper, the other side. This is the glossy side that you would print your picture on. You do it on this side. I have some other videos where I use it, and I actually have another video where I try, I don't know, 15 or 16 different surfaces with alcohol inks, just so you guys can see kind of how they work. And so definitely go check out that video. It's all in the playlist. You do need to watch them all in order to enter, and you need to give a thumbs up or thumbs down and leave a comment on every video, and you need to be subscribed to me. And you need to leave a thumbs up or thumbs down on each video. So what I've done, I've kind of got this I'm in the middle. I figured out some things here, but I wanted to start this video before I get too ahead of myself because I wanted to make sure you guys saw how I was doing this. So I have done my gold one, which is this one here, and it looks like this. I put a metal screw in here as a little mixer thing. You do want to mix it. This one has quite a bit of thicker alcohol or paint in it. These all have a little like steel ball in them, so you want to put something that's a little bit heavy, like not just a little plasticky thing. You want to put like a decent metal steel kind of ball in there. And so you're gonna need some paint. You have your paper, you're going to need some paint. Both of these work really well. This is Artist, and I'm trying to use as cheap a paint as possible because my DIYs, the reason why I do DIYs is to maybe make it cheaper for people and just make it a little bit affordable. Which is the same thing as what I just said, making it cheaper. But for me, these alcohol mixatives were actually quite hard to get in, and I kind of address this on a lot of my DIY videos because I always get comments. I just got one the other day, a lot of work and a lot of mess just to save a few bucks. Well, yeah, if it's to save a few bucks, then that's fine. But depending on where you live and your location, not everyone has access to it. I don't live in a big, huge city. So DIYs are very helpful to people, and I always get comments And I'm guessing it's from people who can just go out and find a store that and buy whatever they need. There's a lot of people in this world who cannot do that. And even if you can, there's a lot of people that like to do DIYs because, first of all, it's fun and it saves money, so why not? And yeah, there are things that I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to go buy that because it's only a couple dollars more. Okay, enough of that. It's just that it kind of is, I think it's starting to become a little bit of a pet peeve to me. I mean, obviously I'm on YouTube. People are going to tell me I'm ridiculous. I have to just accept it, but where am I? Oh, wow, that was a big tangent. Anyways, so this is quite cheap paint. I got these at Michael's. Obviously this one's Michael's because that's Michael's brand. This one I'm assuming I got at Michael's, but maybe Walmart. What is Craft Smart? Is that Michael's as well? I don't know. It might have been Walmart. I got this one here. I don't like how this one turned out quite as much. So this is the Folk Art Metallic by Plaid. And I will show you that. I do like how these ones turned out better. So this is Artist Loft, just old gold. And this is Craft Smart Radiant Gold. It's really quite sparkly. It's got very, very tiny glitter in this, whereas this one is more of a smooth kind of just metallic steel look. And so play around with different metallics. You can get these things, I mean, the dollar store has them, so play around. You might find something at the dollar store. So first of all, I'm going to show you my first test that I did. I'm going to zoom in here. So this is with my first test I did, and I didn't know how much paint and how much alcohol to use. Sorry. Make sure you have the 99% isopropyl alcohol. I say 99% because, I don't know, more alcohol is better, always better, I don't know. I just think that that's probably the best way to go. If we're doing alcohol inks, more alcohol seems like the better idea. So you can try it with 70%, but I'm thinking the 91 or the 99%. So this is with a thinner solution. So the thinner solution was about 1 teaspoon alcohol with 1.5 teaspoons of paint. So, and then another ½ teaspoon to clear it out. I'll show you the way I did it in a second. So basically it was 1 part to 1 part. And it is going to depend on how runny your paint is. So just be aware of that. That's okay. I don't mind that. You can see it. It's still kind of cool. I wanted it a little bit thicker, so I did this. And this is with adding another ½ teaspoon of paint. So this is 1.5 teaspoons alcohol to about 2 teaspoons paint. And I kind of like these thick pieces in there. I don't know if you can tell. Like on an art piece, that gives it some texture. I think that looks really cool. It is not going to be anything like the effect that you would get with one of these, but it gives a cool effect, and you would just have to wait for it to dry. Like this is still kind of a little bit tacky. Okay, but I think that's pretty cool. So, but I thought, you know what, that might be a little bit too thick. So this is adding another ½ teaspoon. So in all, this is, let me just figure this out here. This is 1.5, so 2 teaspoons alcohol in all. I have it written over here. To 1.5, 2.5, 2.5 teaspoons paint. So this is all, I'll put all the recipes in my blog. And I do really like this. It's still got little pieces, and that depends on what you're going to do, you know, if you use some blending solution. So you can kind of work with that, and if you use a brush, you can, you know, paint around that and make it thin out. But I actually really like that. It just looks like little flecks of gold stuck in there. So to give you a comparison here, this is what it looks like with the mixatives. So I used the exact same, I used this Pinata Color Baja Blue with all of these, And then with this one here, this is the mixative. So I actually found that this gold sticks out more. I don't know if you can see that. That gold just kind of really just, it has like a matte look. It really just kind of faded out. Whereas this gold, these gold flecks really stay in there. So I'm actually thinking I might like this effect better, which I did not expect. I thought I might get a passable, barely passable substitution for these mixatives, but I'm actually thinking I might use them more just because I like the effect, and you're going to do what you do. But even this one here, if you look, the gold sticks out more, and that could depend on different paint. Like I said, this is radiant gold, so this is like super shiny gold. Whereas, and same as this one's very shiny. So it will depend on the kind of metallic paint you use. And then this one here, just in case you're wondering, because I have these questions too, well, is this just the same as using straight paint? Here's straight paint. So what it did was it kind of mixed and made a green, which is cool, and I actually like this. It gives it more of a sheen of metallic rather than metallic bits, but it kind of sticks below the surface, below the blue. It kind of just blends in with it, whereas this separates, which I like that effect better. Now this is one that I did with my DIY alcohol inks that I made from Sharpies. So they do act a little bit different than alcohol inks that you buy. And it'll depend on how much alcohol is evaporated from your ink, from your DIY ink that you made. And it'll depend on a few things. And I'm going to be doing some artwork with just my DIY alcohol ink so you can compare them. And I'll do a comparison with side-by-side alcohol inks and side with DIY alcohol inks. But anyways, so this turned out really good too with the DIY Sharpie. So this is a full-on DIY alcohol ink thing there. The other thing I wanted to show you was the silver. So the silver kind of is a little bit different. Like I showed you, it's more of a steel kind of gunmetal maybe look. You can see that it doesn't have that really, it doesn't have the glitteriness to it, the, you know, where it kind of glistens. This is what I did. I mixed it with this one here. And I actually really like this. I don't know if I see too much actual metallic. It does look a little bit, yeah, there's a little bit of metallic in there. But it kind of shows as just kind of gray. But I really like this. I don't know if you can see that. I really like this effect, and I did use blending solution with all of these. Okay, this is my DIY blending solution. So this is really cool too. And honestly, like, here's what you would do with normal mixatives. Just a little bit, you know, nothing fancy, but I added a little bit of blending solution in there. I actually really like these effects more. This is not as metallic, so I would work with a different silver paint to try to see if I can get it more metallic. But it's, you get the idea. And this is the same one as this is the same ratio here. I did that measuring because I thought for you guys, you need to kind of see some measuring things, and some people really like to know exact ratios, and that's totally fine. That makes sense to me. I don't always need to work that way because I kind of just go by feel and whatever, and work with whatever I end up getting. Oh, here's another one with the silver. You can kind of see, like this one, it just kind of made it look like it's granulating, and this one, the silver kind of came to the top a little bit. So it's cool. I like the gold effect better, but I think that's because of the paint. Obviously not because of the color. So I am using, to do this, I'm using a little, you know those kids things that come, I'm using that, and a tiny little funnel. You don't have to use these things. This is just what works for me, and I do not use gloves. Before anyone comments that I should be using gloves, I don't like to use gloves when I craft, and I know I get really messy, but I just don't care. So right now, actually, I want to see, I don't know if this is going to work, but I want to see if I can get a white So this is just going to be a flat white. Oh, it sounds like I'm at Starbucks. So there's a pearl and there's a snow cap. So I'm trying to do like maybe a snow cap look. I actually haven't worked with this very much. So with this one, I'm not measuring because I like to go by feel. But you can kind of see I filled up, this is just a dropper bottle I got from, I think I bought them from like an essential oils website, Sunrise Botanics, but I'm sure in the States you have lots of places where you can get them in stores and whatever. I don't have any stores around here that I can buy them. Any kind of bottle, any kind of squeeze bottle that you can seal in, you really want to be able to seal in the alcohol. You don't want it to evaporate. So I put about this much paint in. It's about that much on the bottom. And this is, I think, a 30, it's the same size as this. Yeah, 30 mils. Good guess, Janelle, good guess. We just got a puppy. Tomorrow will be a week that we've had him, and so I'm talking like I'm talking to a puppy. Good boy. That's just what's going on there. Yeah, so we got a puppy. He's a soft-coated Wheaten Terrier. First family pet. I'm just going to add some alcohol a little bit at a time. I'd rather add some, you know, have to add more than take away. Does that make sense? But I do have quite a bit of paint in there, so I'm just going to, let's go with that. So our first family pet, we've been talking about getting a dog for years, but it just didn't, it was never the right time, and now it's kind of seems like it's the right time. And our kids have been wanting one forever. My husband owned pets all the time growing up. What did I do with my dropper? And, but they were farm animals. He grew up on a farm. And so that's different because this one is inside. I mean, he can go outside and actually he enjoys the snow and the cold and whatever. But for the most part, he's an inside dog, right? He's not a big dog. He's not going to be that big. About 35 pounds. And so I, am learning about dogs. I'm like, you know what? We need a puppy trainer because frankly, I need to be trained myself. I have no idea how to train a dog, and I want a well-behaved dog. And this type of dog, I've done a ton of research. These type of dogs, if you train them well, then they can be really good. If you don't, they can get out of control, and you know, it's misery. We've been talking to our kids for ages about how, you know, just be aware, you know, what's involved with the dog, and you know, this isn't just like a quick little fad thing we're doing. I feel like I need to say that because people will be like, I've had people lecture me before. On when I said, I'm wondering about getting a puppy, what's good? And then people are like, you know, getting a puppy isn't, whatever. Okay, apparently I'm in a mood to be annoyed with people. I'm sorry, I'm gonna stop right now. Anyways, so he is the cuddliest thing ever. And he's pretty quiet. He's 5 months old. He's pretty calm. He has his times. And I'm just trying to get him to go for his walks. Like, he doesn't like to walk. It's like, okay, well, I'm not carrying you. And potty training. Potty training is the big thing. Oh, my word. I knew it was going to be... it's basically how I expected it to be, but it's just like, oh, man alive. But what can you do? Yeah, so we're having a whole training kind of course. We're going through a training course with him. So the trainer's going to come to our house and train me, train him, whatever. Okay, so I have got this white one here. I have some labels started here. Now in order to do the white and see what that looks like, so that's probably more runny than what I want, but you never know, it might work. I'm not going to do anything until I see what's going on. Let's do this orange. Oh. So this, again, is just Kirkland brand photo paper. Ooh, I like that. I don't know what it's going to end up looking like. If it's just going to sink in, it might just mix in. But I kind of like it. We'll have to compare it to the actual snowcap one. And just so you can see how it reacts, I'm going to give you some of the gold. I'm not giving it to you. I am going to put it in there. I think it could be cool. So this I made quite thick because, as you know, I like those little speckles in there. As I was saying that. We're just playing around, just playing around. I'd like it if I could make it the white not mix with the orange as much, but I don't know if that's going to be possible. Let's just leave that. And let's do another one where we compare it to the snowcap one. We'll use the same color, just to be accurate. Oh, okay. So that absorbs even more. But maybe not, because it's sitting there. This was mixed up ahead of time. I did mix this up, but now it's not. Oh no, this one isn't needing to be mixed up. It's the pearl that gets mixed up. Okay, so that kind of is cool actually. At first it absorbed it, but then it... Where's my blending? I kind of like it better without blowing it actually. See what that does here. So here's our two. I didn't blow this one at all. But you can kind of see where the white is there. This white might be a little bit better. I don't know, I can't tell. Yeah. Oh, this white's coming to the surface too. I don't know, maybe there's not too much of a difference at all between the two. So I don't know, like, the thing is, I have no idea how these are made. It just has alcohol, methoxy, and propanol. Isopropyl alcohol. Oh, that's cool. So that white paint is staying out of there. There is a mixing ball in here, but it's not coming out. Let's try this snowcap one. Or the pearl one. I'm going to try the pearl one. Oh yeah, that's just putting a kind of a luminescence. I can hear that ball in there a little bit. You really got to shake these up. Yeah, so this just makes like a little glistening effect, which is kind of cool. Yeah, I kind of like this better. But maybe that's just because I blew it differently. Anyways, you can see, so there's not really that much difference. So all this was paint I got from Dollarama. So I added about this much paint in the bottom, about 1.5 centimeters. Yeah. So if you measure up 1.5 centimeters from the bottom of the bottle, that's about how much paint I put in. And then the alcohol that I added was about to the middle of that. So that's a 30 ml bottle. But try your own. Like, this is quite runny paint. I got it from Dollarama. Like, it's going to be quite runny. And this is pretty runny paint, or pretty runny. You can see, but it works good. So try your own with that and see what happens. I'm loving everything that's going on here. And that gold that I added is really cool too. Now let's make one of this pink one here. This video is getting a little bit long, so I'm just going to do a little bit of time lapse. But all I'm using here is just a pink kind of glitter paint. It's not as metallic-y, it's more glittery. So I am using the same measurements as I did for the white one we just made. Another option would be to use the Liquitex Flow Aid, and that can be used in water brushes or squeeze bottles as well to make little paint markers. But I didn't use it in this one because I thought I'll just keep it to the alcohol and see how that works. See, like, who doesn't want to do DIYs? I mean, they're amazing. That doesn't look like it's going to do too much because it doesn't look like there's any alcohol. It's not even spreading. Let's see what it does with some... Oh no, this is gold. I don't want that. Let's do... I wanted a green. Green forest green. Let's try this. So the reason why I'm testing it with other alcohol is to see how it reacts, if it reacts the same as if I mix two alcohol inks together. Because for me, that's kind of my sign that it's kind of a good mixture. This isn't really reacting at all, but doesn't mean it's not usable. Yeah, so it's really thick. So I don't know. I don't know if I like those colors together. Like, I like how the green just stays away from it. I mean, you could definitely do things with it, but I think it needs to be a little thinner even. Let's just see how. It seems quite thin. Maybe it's the glitter in there. Let's add it on top and see what happens. It's kind of cool. Maybe I just didn't have it mixed good enough. I don't really want to add... Yeah, it doesn't move around as much, but it's got a really cool effect. So with this, I would just say kind of mixing acrylic paint with alcohol inks. And oh yeah, I like that. When you move it around, it kind of makes little trails through the pink, and it looks really cool. So that's another, I like that. I'm not going to add anything to this because I think I'm just going to try to make it work the way it is. Okay, so here's the gold version of this one, and you can see it's not, just so that you know what I mean. Like, this one has definite like glitter in it, whereas this one's just more metallic. If you can see that. So I like this. So now I am mixing up a blue one. This is a metallic blue folk art one. If you go to my blog, which I will link down to below in the description of this video, I show all of this, and I will put down the recipe and everything for these. But I'm using the same measurements as we did for the pink and the white ones that we did. And then here I am just trying it out with different things, and I'm adding in some of the snow cap from Ranger and some of my own. So the one in the corner there is the white that I made on my own, and I didn't really find too much of a difference between them. And then just to see colors contrasting, I added in some orange, and I love the effect of this. Like, the blue just sits on top and it looks awesome. It looks like little stones. Like, it just, oh, I just love the effect of this. And now I'm trying it with my DIY Sharpie alcohol ink that I made. So an orange one with this one, just to see how they look together. So that one there is the DIY blue kind of mixative I made, and the orange DIY Sharpie that I made actually a few years ago. Yeah, so the orange DIY is not going to be as intense. And I think when I made this a couple years ago. So I think a lot of the alcohol has evaporated out. Oh, I'm going to get comments about doing that. But, I mean, honestly, these smell less like alcohol. They smell better. But this is still cool. Like, you could still work with it. I would just, if you want super intense, make sure you don't let any alcohol evaporate. And, because I took the ink thing out of here, and I think I had left the tops off, which doesn't make any sense when I made these. Why would I do that? The alcohol's going to evaporate. Maybe don't put as much in. Maybe just put like half to make that more intense. So when I make some more, I'm going to make it more intense. But it's still kind of cool, but this is definitely better. And that is still using the DIY. So this blue worked really well, this one here. And it's Folk Art, Aqua, More, Pearl. So try a bunch of different ones. It's so much fun. As you can see, I'm having a blast. So remember to watch the other videos in this playlist. I am going to be adding quite a few more. I have a whole list here of videos I want to add. So be watching for those. And you do need to watch all of the videos in this playlist and comment on each of them, and be subscribed to me, and leave a thumbs up or thumbs down on each of them. And if you click that notification bell, then you can make sure to not miss any of in the playlist, because I do go when I put the names in for the winner, I do go through and make sure that all the people have commented on each one. So check that out. And yeah, look at these. Okay, so here's this green and pink one. Oh, I don't know if you can see that sparkle, but this is awesome. So this is the Paradise Pink Glitter Acrylic Paint. I have some more in different colors, and I'm definitely going to be doing it. And this is really cool. I like this. So this is the orange bottom one. This is kind of cool too. Like, definitely works. It's just not as intense. So, but you can make it more intense. Just check out my DIY video on making your own alcohol inks, and just do less alcohol, and make sure you don't let any evaporate. So seal it up. Yeah, so I'm gonna let you go. I hope you enjoyed this video. I am off to make another alcohol ink video for you guys. See you later.